Hi everyone, this is Tanya Short, the captain of KitFox Games, reporting in for the January development diary of Moon Hunters. So we're getting pretty close to launch now, and it's a little bit scary. We have the beta coming out on Thursday, which is tomorrow by the time you see this, and the whole team is working super hard behind me. So this might be a little bit of a shorter update, but we'll see. As you can see right here, this week Mike is working on character dances, and on Thursday from 3 to 5 p.m. you'll be able to vote on how the Song Weaver dances. He's going to pull up a bunch of different references, and you'll be able to give him some input on making sure that the Song Weaver, as she goes into the game in the final version, meets up with the majority interests. So definitely go to twitch.tv/KitFoxGames and follow us and join in the stream. If you want to really quickly put in your vote because you can't make the stream, maybe leave us a tweet and check out what happens in the archive video afterwards. So as I mentioned, the whole team is working pretty hard. Marcelo is focusing on multiplayer. Here's a fun GIF that he made of one of the many issues he's trying to solve. Hank is giving him some help here and there with networking too, but it's still mostly Marcelo. Good luck, Marcelo! We'll be offering online multiplayer for the first time in the beta window coming up on Thursday. We still have, obviously, 5 weeks after that to fix it up for launch, but there's a lot to do, so wish us luck. Sin worked on various things, but one of the things he worked on was the credits, and here's an interesting GIF of how many names that ended up being. It's a lot of names, even though it was only from a certain point upwards. And some particularly interesting names that came up in the credits is what people wanted in the special thanks. So thanks, Potato, and thanks, Powerful Hallucinogens. Meanwhile, we've also had it announced that I will be on stage at the Game Developers Conference this year with the developer of Dwarf Fortress. We'll be showing off the tools for Moon Hunters, which you might have already glimpsed in the session, but we'll actually be talking about how we built the tools and how we use them to make the myths in Moon Hunters. And the toady one, Tarn, will be talking about how they make myths in Dwarf Fortress, which, as you might expect, is a bit more complex than what we do. But that's great. It's going to be really fun, I think. They haven't scheduled it yet, but the Indie Game Summit tends to be on the first 2 days. Sin, meanwhile, was that's a funny old picture of him, but he was on a podcast and discussed art. So if you are interested in art in any way, he does concept art and pixel art, and he teaches classes at the local art school sometimes. So yeah, you can hear his thoughts on Moon Hunters and process in general, and career. MMO Huts also gave a pretty interesting early beta preview. They mentioned that there are bugs, which is not surprising. It's a beta, but sounds like he had a good time. He took his own screenshots and mentioned that it's fun without question. So thank you, Jason Parker. Appreciate it. And Gamasutra interviewed me and wrote an article on 3 lessons on procedural storytelling from Moon Hunters. They basically asked me a bunch of questions, and I answered them, and then they wrote up this article. It's not like I told them what the 3 lessons were. They just guessed that based on what I said. So I'm very flattered. I also don't know anything about Polynesian storytelling. I'm going to confess that to you now. But the things that I said about roguelikes being very similar to how myths are reinterpreted every time and how they're always different depending on who's telling the story, I did say that part. Anything that's quoted, I did say. But I like to think I'm sometimes more on point than some of these rambling comments I made. But that's okay. I like to ramble, I guess. It's true. And Stumpedcast are some fun people who, in this video, discuss why they're interested in Moon Hunters. Some of it is a little bit scary for us because anytime someone's looking forward to the game, it's very flattering, but we don't want to disappoint anybody either, so we'll just do our best as we're making the game. All these links to all these pages will be posted on a public Kickstarter backer update, so even if you're not on the newsletter yet, you can still go get all the links from the Kickstarter page, by the way. But I do recommend signing up for the newsletter, which you can do because then you'll have it in your inbox. Very easy to use, very easy to remember. The final bit of press was remesh.com, which is a women gamers site, I think. They interviewed some women about tips for aspiring developers, and they have a bunch of good tips. I agree with all of them. And my quote here is that I encourage women to, or all aspiring developers really, to allow yourself to fail and learn, and that's the best way to grow. And just be yourself, your best version of yourself all the time. No. But one of the best articles that I saw over the past couple weeks was actually nothing to do with us, but was written by our friends Juicy Beast over on their blog, and it was talking about their financial failures of the lovely little game Toto Temple Deluxe. So if you're interested in indie game business, you should definitely go check out their write-up because it's very, very interesting and very honest and very brave. They share their whole process and experience and what they learned from it. So it's a really good article. So the official launch date of Moon Hunters is February 25th on Steam for the PC version. The iOS version and Linux version will be weeks after that, but relatively the same time. And we're hoping we can launch in all the languages at once. There might be a few words here and there that are missing. We're especially having trouble finding a Russian. Is there anyone else? No, it's just Russian. Everyone else is already working out. But if any of you know any Russian translators that can work relatively affordably, then let me know. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty full month. We at KitFox don't believe that it helps a lot to crunch like crazy, but we will be working extra hours, it seems, in the next few weeks. But it's worth it because we love Moon Hunters and we really appreciate your support, and we want it to be the best game it can be when it comes out. So come and tune in 3 to 5 p.m. on Thursday to vote on the Song Weaver Dance and check out how Mike animates these crazy little characters, and leave some comments if you'd like to make a suggestion. Thanks. Bye. See you in February.